On3 Studios here in Nashville, Tennessee. We are here for another live commitment. Now, we've been doing these all summer, having a great time. If you guys are joining us and you've watched before, welcome back. If you're joining for the first time, welcome in. Now, as everybody gets in, gets comfortable, do me a favor right now, hit the like button and subscribe to the On3 YouTube page. We are here for the Duncanville doubleheader today. We're going to go live to Duncanville High School in just about 4 or 5 minutes. And as everybody gets set up, I'm going to tell you guys what we are in for today. Let's talk about it. It's a rare commitment, right? 2 teammates from the same powerhouse high school committing on the same day, same ceremony. And guess what? Just to add a little bit more to it, today is also the first day of school at Duncanville High School as well. So as they get set up, we're going to let you guys come on in and get comfortable, and we're going to get this thing underway. Let's talk about why we're here. 4-star running back Kaden Durham. He's going to be up first. He's going to commit first in the ceremony. He goes 5'9", 195, the number 8 ranked running back in the country and the 105th best player overall. Durham ran for just under 2,000 yards last season and 36 touchdowns. As soon as Kaden Durham makes his decision, then we're going to turn our attention to 5-star plus edge Colin Simmons. He goes 6'3", 225 pounds. He's the number 1 ranked edge in America and the 5th best player overall. Simmons racked up 79 tackles last season, 33 for loss, and 22.5 sacks in the 2022 season. Now, both of these prospects were also busy during the month of June, taking multiple official visits. Let's check in on Kaden Durham first, the 4-star back. He started the month of June off at Texas A&M. He made a stop in state at UTSA. And then his final visit was July 16 to Oklahoma. Now, you won't see an LSU official on here because he hasn't taken one yet. But he did make it on an unofficial visit to Bayou Splash at the end of July. So watch for the LSU Tigers in this one as well. Colin Simmons was a busy man in June. Look at this. Starts the month off with the trip down to Miami. It's a little hot this time of year in Miami, but never a bad time to be in Coral Gables. Then June 12, SMU. July 16, Alabama. He takes his last official visit of the summer to Texas. And then look at this November 11th upcoming LSU date. We'll see if this impending decision has any impact on that, whether or not he takes it or cancels it. We will see. All right, now both of these guys have narrowed their list of finalists down to a top 3. For Kaden Durham, it's LSU, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. The big question is, will he leave the state of Texas? Do me a favor right now. I know we got a bunch of different fan bases in the comment section of this thing, and you guys know everything anyway. So leave me your final prediction on where you think Kaden Durham is going to go to college. Then we go to Colin Simmons. He's narrowed his list down to a top 3 that involves Miami, LSU, and Texas. Where do you guys think Colin Simmons is going to go? Same thing. He's done a great job, though, of really leaving this up in the air. I don't think anybody knows where Colin Simmons is going. This is another one of those rare instances where just everybody's guessing. Let's take a look at Caden and Colin's social handles. Look at these. We're going to pull them up right now. Be sure to follow them on all platforms as their careers are just about to take off. I know today is decision day, but really this is just the start of their college careers. So we're going to hear from them here shortly. The guys are getting set up as we speak. And we'll go to Duncanville High School in just a couple minutes. Now, the impact of these recruitments are going to be felt coast to coast. The implications will destroy some recruiting boards and make some recruiting classes. Now, as we get set at Duncanville High School, we're going to check in with Shay Dixon from the Bengal Tiger. Shay, wanted to bring you on and just get your opinion. I mean, you've been covering Colin Simmons and Kaden Durham for how many years now? Oh, unmute yourself.
Nearly 2 for both these guys since they first emerged onto the recruiting scene. So this has been a big buildup. We look at LSU's position with both these guys. LSU Texas got Simmons to and Texas got Simmons to campus the same number of times over the last about 12 to 16 months, 6 visits for each of them. Then you look at Kaden Durham. He was a guy that is an Oklahoma legacy. His mom was a really incredible sprinter for the Sooners. He's got a lot of family in the Norman area. There were thoughts early on that Oklahoma would be very tough to beat. And for LSU now to be the team that has surged on the on-3 RPM, that's where my pick is for Durham to land with the Tigers, would be huge. It has been an LSU, at least approach, Durham or bust this cycle at running back. So we'll see here shortly if that pays off for Frank Wilson and company. But I think a lot of people are left guessing here at the end on what Colin Simmons is probably going to do.
Yeah, we're going to get to Colin Simmons here in a second. But with Kaden Durham, was it a bit of did it take some of the pressure off when Oklahoma landed Taylor Tatum?
I'm in the camp that I think that LSU might have positioned themselves well with Durham before that even happened. That was a commitment that happened in July. In about mid-June, Oklahoma seemed to have some real confidence in Durham after getting him in for an official visit, but LSU countered. They had him on campus that next weekend, if you'll remember, for an unofficial visit that was originally going to be an official visit. Then they were the only team that hosted him during that 7-day window in between the July dead period, the August dead period. He didn't get back to Norman. Texas A&M tried hard to get him to campus that weekend after the Bayou Splash recruiting event. He ended up not making that trip. So all signs started to point more and more towards LSU as we got kind of closer to this decision date. But I go back to it. I think that no matter if you're tossing it who LSU or Oklahoma had at running back or who they didn't, LSU seemed to have been swinging here and started to pull away from the Sooners. I think this is one that Oklahoma would have taken him, loved to have him, would have made for a great running back class. I just am not sure they're going to be able to beat out the Tigers here.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Colin Simmons, the man of the hour. He'll be up second. And talking to Jerry Hamilton at Inside Texas, he says the Texas Longhorns, Colin Simmons is a must get. But how big was Colin Simmons stopping in Baton Rouge for Bayou Splash right before the dead period hits? How important was that visit for the Tigers' chances?
I think it's massive. I think it's got us at this position right now where a lot of people feel it is 50-50, where a lot of coaching staffs are going into this one wondering if they're going to be the choice or not. And I always say, watch what recruits do. Well, when Colin Simmons didn't visit anywhere but LSU in that 7-day window a few weeks back, then he turns around and says, I'm no longer going to wait till signing day. I'm actually going to push that decision up, and I'm announcing the same day as my teammate Kaden Durham, August 10th. Here we are, live from Duncanville on day one of school. You would think that bodes very well for LSU, right?
Yeah.
It's just behind the scenes. It seems like this has continued to be a back and forth between LSU and Texas. We know Miami's going to have a hat on the table. We'll see if they could pull off what would be considered a major shock. But I am with Jerry in understanding what this means for Texas. It's been called by some a Leonard Fournette type recruitment. When Leonard Fournette came out of Louisiana as the #1 overall prospect, not just in the state, but the entire country, the #1 running back. Texas, I think, views Colin Simmons in that same light. And Josh, when you go back and look at it, over the past decade, Texas has only signed the #1 player in Texas once. That was BJ Foster on the On3 industry rankings. With the move to the SEC, with the Texas right now sitting with a recruiting class that ranks outside the top 20, getting Colin Simmons would be a massive, massive addition for them. I think that's why we've seen their confidence continue to remain steady, whether it was with that June official visit or through LSU getting him onto campus and him not returning to Austin. And now here we are on a decision date where most everyone on the Texas side is expecting it to be the Longhorns.
All right, Shay. Well, you're right. We are here. It is decision day. Coach Sample at Duncanville High School is speaking right now. So what do you say? Yeah, let's go into Duncanville and take a look.
As well as the top of their position groups in the state of Texas. Well, for me, it's not just about football.
You see Kaden Durham in the shot there as Coach Sample speaks. We'll just listen in.
They've taken upon them on the field. We've had our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, it's all about Duncan. It's all about the team. It's all about the family. at this time, I'm gonna hold up the proceedings because I'm anxious, just like everybody else. So let's go forward.
Thank you, Coach Samples. We're here with the number 8 running back in the country, Kaden Durham, state champion. We all remember what you did in AT&T last year, but now it's your decision day. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling real confident and calm about my decision today.
You got hats for Texas A&M, for Oklahoma, and for LSU. What about those 3 schools made them finalists for you, Caden?
I'll say that I trust the coaches to get me where I need to be in the future.
With that being said, the moment is yours.
I got the speech. All right. First, I'd like to thank the men above. Without him, none of this be possible. And then I'd like to thank my mom for always being there for me because she sacrificed a lot of her time for me to be where I am today. Next, I'd like to thank my dad for introducing me to the game and giving me all the tools in life to be successful. I'd like to thank my godmom and my family and friends for being there for me when I was down. Also, I'd like to thank my aunt for answering the phone when I needed them. You know, we locked in, I got you. I want to thank all the coaches from Little League to middle school, to high school, like Coach Hodge, Coach Marcus, Coach Terry, Coach Wright, then Coach Simp, Coach Odell, Coach Martinez, Coach P. Money, Coach Brown. Then I want to thank track coaches and athletic trainers, especially Miss C. I want to thank the principals, the teachers, but last but not least, I want to thank Ms. Butts for being there for me since my sophomore year. You know, academics, sports, and just life in period. You know, it's always been someone I come and talk to, no matter the situation. But with that being said, for the next 3 to 4 years, I'm gonna take my talents too. We're going to do it. Okay. Okay. We're going.
He going to that blue.
Kaden Durham commits to LSU in front of the Duncanville crowd. Let's see if we get Caden to come sit back down next to Sam, talk about this decision to commit to LSU.
Now I'm hungry.
That's a big decision, Caden.
Yeah.
You were the number 1 running back on their board. How much did that factor into this decision today?
I say it factored in a lot because they trusted me to be, the number 1 running back that they needed, to get them the national championship.
And everyone here knows you're not just a football star. You also do it on track and field. What about LSU? Do you think they're going to put you in a position to succeed in both sports?
They track program like A1 for sprints. So I know, and the coaches told me that I'm going to be able to do track and football. So I'm good with that, for sure.
Well, congratulations, Caden. Back to you in the studio, Josh in Nashville.
Thank you, Sam. Kaden Durham puts on the LSU hat. He has his younger sister actually picks LSU. I wonder, oh, never mind. I'm sure they had planned this before. Come back to the studio. All right, now we are going to get set to hear from Colin Simmons, but let's talk a little bit about the Kaden Durham commitment. The Tigers get their first running back commit of the 2024 cycle. Shea Dixon earlier on just said how important Kaden Durham was to this class, and the Tigers get their guy. He's 5'9", 195, brings power and speed to the position. Now let's take a quick look at the On3 industry rankings, where LSU jumps 4 spots with the addition of Kaden Durham. They were 10, now 6. Now, of course, the Dogs are still on top. You got Ohio State, Alabama, Florida State. Then LSU slides in there at 6, followed by Michigan. It's a nice top 10. We'll see if LSU can improve their standing even further with the addition of Colin Simmons. We're getting to get set up right now to go see what the 5-star plus edge from Duncanville High School has to say. He's got 3 finalists: Miami, Texas, and LSU. All 3 are viable candidates. He took officials to Miami and Texas. He has not taken an official visit to LSU. We'll see how that, or if that, plays into today's decision, but we do know how important of a piece Colin Simmons is to whichever team he chooses to commit to today. 6'3", 225 pounds. Colin Simmons racked up 22 and a half sacks as a junior last year, not even into his senior year yet. And Colin Simmons is already one of the best pass rushers in America and highly coveted. Now, are we ready? Are we ready to go back to Duncanville High School? We're getting set up. Okay, there's Sam Spiegelman. You got Colin Simmons to his right. Colin looks like he's having a great time. Doesn't look like there's any pressure on him today.
There's no
Sam,
pressure.
are we ready?
I think we're ready. You ready, Colin? You heard that. We're here with the #1 edge rusher in the entire country, Colin Simmons. He's got hats for Texas. He's got hats for LSU. And he's got a hat for Miami. And he snuck a hat for SMU in there too. How you feeling today, Colin?
I feel amazing. I feel blessed to be in front of my friends and family and make this big decision.
Of all these hats on the table, what are these schools to do to capture your attention, but also the attention of your family? Because we know that's important to you.
Like you said, family. The most important thing to me, like, they all took care of my family and just show love to my family, and that just meant a lot.
Well, the moment is yours, Colin. Take it and run.
Give a speech.
Absolutely.
Whoa. It's okay.
Whew, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'd like to give honor and glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I wouldn't be here where I'm at in life without him. I'd like to thank my family, especially my late great-grandmother, Orrin Mae Thomas, and my late grandfather, Paul Clarkson, who instilled in me the courage and strength to be great, who also were the first ones to have faith and believe in me. I'd like to thank my grandmother, Ramona Clarkson, for her unwavering prayers. Shout out to my aunts, Ari and Gabby Clarkson. Shout out to all the coaches who've invested in me, guided, and developed in me since Little League to high school, especially my Little League coach, Coach Lona, and my head football coach, Coach Reginald Samples, and my position coach, and also Coach Gabriel. I also want to give thanks to my step-pops who made me play football even though I didn't want to. I cried for like 2 weeks straight, I swear. Shout out to my second family. Y'all know who y'all are. I wouldn't be here without y'all. I promise you I wouldn't. Shout out to my, last but not least, shout out to my little bro who inspires me to continue to outwork me. Shout out to my little brother who inspires me to continue to outwork myself every day, and to my beautiful queen, my mother, Miss Monica, who has supported me and guided me in every dream I've had, who stood by my side no matter what, who's done the best to raise me since birth. My brother and my mother are my why I continue to wake up and better myself each and every day and be the best person that I know I can be. I love y'all. With that being said, I'd like to announce my commitment to the
Oh boy.
Like, give me that right there. Give me that.
Texas it is. Colin Simmons has committed to Texas. There it is. Wow, what a get. One of the most important prospects on the board for the Texas Longhorns. Let's see what he has to say.
Thank y'all. God, I ain't gonna lie, man.
Colin, I think everyone in this room was sitting on their toes waiting to find out where you wanted to go. When did you make that decision and how did Texas win out?
I promise you I made that decision yesterday. It came to the last little moment, like the last second, the last minute of the day, and I want to take care of my family. That's it. And I feel like Texas put me in the best position to take care of them. And yeah.
Thanks so much, Colin. Congratulations. Go celebrate. Back to you in Nashville, Josh. This was a big day for both LSU and Texas.
Thank you, Sam. What a scene from Duncanville High School right there. An amazing commitment ceremony. Thank you, Sam Spiegelman. Thank you to everybody at Duncanville High School that made that come to fruition. A special day for both Kaden Durham and Colin Simmons. Let's bring on Shay Dixon from the Bengal Tiger here on the On3 Network to react. Shay, LSU goes 1 for 2, but first let's talk about Kaden Durham and his decision to go to LSU. Were you surprised at all that just the way it all went down?
Not at all. And I'm off mute this time, so I'm rocking.
Good job.
Look, this was the #1 and only running back target for Frank Wilson and the Tigers this cycle. And I go back to, look, this was a kid who grew up around OU, whose family attended OU. He's still got a lot of family in the area in Norman, and he's playing for one of the best, if not the most talent-rich program in the country right now at Duncanville. And Josh, when you look at the schools, A&M, Texas, Oklahoma, those are schools that typically recruit Duncanville very well. LSU's never tapped into Duncanville. So for them to be able to go into that school this cycle and not only put themselves in the top group with a guy like Colin Simmons, but to come away with a commitment from Kaden Durham was absolutely massive. And I look at this and think, LSU does not go out of state very often for running backs. For them to circle Kaden Durham and go and chase him for this long and to have to make up the ground they did to beat Oklahoma in this race, it was really impressive. And I think this is why you brought Frank Wilson back to LSU, to get recruiting wins like this.
Now, I'd love to have Jerry Hamilton from Inside Texas on right now, but he's on scene at Duncanville High School, and I'll talk to him on the Inside Scoop on Monday. But what do you think it was? I mean, you heard Colin Simmons. He said that he made his decision yesterday. You kind of felt that it was that close all week, though, right?
This was one, we've covered a lot of recruitments. This was one where I think by design, Colin wanted it to have some suspense to it. And because of that, a lot of folks went into this one unsure of which way it was going to go. I think, though, as you read the tea leaves, yes, LSU did have that final visit. Yes, he did turn right around and set a commitment date. Yes, he did do it right after one of his teammates, Kaden Durham, announces for LSU. But I just kept going back to how big this commitment would be for Texas and how big of a miss it would be for Steve Sarkisian if that's in the staff, if it didn't go their way. And you just had that feeling, Josh, that Texas was going to buckle down and do what they had to do to keep a guy like Colin Simmons home. He had great relationships at LSU. He's got great relationships at Texas. That's why a lot of people call this a toss-up. And I believe Simmons. I don't know if it was yesterday when he decided, but I do think he's been very back and forth in his mind over which way he really was going with this, because LSU gave Texas a very good run for their money.
They did, and it was a great ceremony, a lot of suspense. Shay Dixon, thank you for coming on. I know LSU fans wanted to see the 2 for 2, but they'll take the 1 for 2 with Kaden Durham as Texas fans celebrate the addition of 5-star plus edge Colin Simmons. Thank you guys all for tuning in to another live commitment here on the On3 Network. We're going to be back tomorrow to hear from California 4-star wide receiver Quasi Gilmer as he makes his decision live right here on the On3 YouTube page. But today, it was the Duncanville doubleheader. We got to hear from Kaden Durham, who commits to LSU, and Colin Simmons comes off the board to Texas.